I mean, is Cooper Rush worth 2.5 points? I would hope Quinn Ewers put up a decent stat line against Arizona State. If he didn't, we have a real problem.
You can say the same thing about Creighton. Okay, they had the one good game against Kansas at home.
When Toast talks about the kicking market, it's like some earth is flat shit. Andy, true or false, this is going to be a dog walking.
Dog walking. This is my dog walking of the day. I think it's going to be very ugly. Dog walking. I think this is going to be ugly.
Hey, get the sauce. Hey, what's up, everybody? Happy Friday to you all. Hope you're all having a great week. Hope you all had a nice Thursday night. I had a good one. Went 3-1 on my bets last night, including a nice plus 136 Diamondbacks hit. Had a plus money Braves hit as well. So definitely a nice Thursday night for me. Didn't bet Minnesota. And
shame.
This is shame, dude. Ski was on Minnesota. Chris was on Minnesota early. I like Minnesota. Just ended up passing, and about 3 minutes into the game, it's 13-0, and I was like, I've made a big mistake. I've made a big mistake passing. Real quick before we get into it, betting league. Big Ken has taken a lead in the Hillary Rodham division over Taylor Made. In the Blue Steel division, Cincy Kids up front, followed by Bustin' Gritty and You Can't See Me. Wagon Clapper has taken the lead, a very short lead in the Northern Adderall division over Chuck Force. So, yeah, we got some battles here. Only 2 days remaining. Championships on Sunday. Let's go to the Southern Conference here. We've got the Squid Division. Kyle Call Me Duke is in first place with a pretty big lead. I think he's the overall chip leader at 6.67 units. Dom's in second place, followed by Coach Sam. Three-man race in Corbin Mountain. Helms, Hans, and Roman. Pretty much everyone else is meth. Actually, Chia might still be in it there. In the Samuel L. Jackson Division, Steez is chilling with a 1.5 unit lead. Got Ream and Scoop on his tail, though. All right. Cleveland, Indiana. And for those of you that were watching the midnight show last night, me and Ski were just talking about it. So last night, while I was live talking about this game, this total dropped from 229.5 all the way down to 225. It was in a free fall, and it all happened at once. So I don't know if someone leaked fake news, or I still don't know what happened during that. But I got the over at 227 in this game. One second. One sec. Let me refresh my picks here. So one sec. There we go. So I got the over 227.5 is the bet I got. I still don't know what happened with that line drop, but I think we've established that Indiana can score on Cleveland. I mean, we've seen it in game 1, game 2. Indiana's offense looks like one of the strongest in basketball right now. Let's be honest. They look strong all through the Milwaukee series. Started off the Cleveland series on the road in Cleveland. 2 strong offensive performances. Now we go home to Indianapolis, where they've been one of the strongest home offenses in basketball all year. So I'm comfortable just saying I don't think Cleveland could stop Indiana's offense. I'm comfortable signing that. I think we could come to that conclusion. Cleveland is not capable of consistently stopping this Pacers offense. But on the other side, Cleveland did have the best road offensive basketball by far this year. 123 offensive rating on the road. Best in the NBA. This is the best road offensive basketball. You got a desperate Cleveland team that needs a win. Obviously, we have to mention the injury report. Have you guys heard any updates with that? Darius Garland, I see, has been upgraded to probable.
I saw likely to give it a go, I think was the direct words that
likely
came out.
Likely to give it a go. What the hell does that mean?
Come on, bro.
They went through shoot around, and I want to say that's what Underdog reported a little bit earlier, maybe like a couple of hours ago. I'll find it. Go ahead, Ski.
Yeah, what do you Ski? So anyway, I'm on the over. I got 227.5. What do you think, Ski?
I'm not mad at that. I can't talk you off of betting over. Only knock I would have on it would be, maybe Darius Garland comes back and he's rusty. Hunter, if he plays, is a defender. Same for Mobley. So that's the only things I would say. But I still can't talk you off saying that. I think the Pacers will score regardless. Like, I trust the Pacers side. The last, 5 times they played, they've cleared 13 total. I believe it's 112.5. I thought about that for most of the day, but I ended up just taking the Pacers. And, I mean, for majority of the year, I've said that, I don't think this Cleveland team is as good as their record. And I don't care if other people are coming back or not. I don't care if they're really healthy, if they're not. I just think Indiana's better. They've been playing better at the end of the year. They're playing better right now. And Cleveland is running on fumes. Like, you've seen Donovan Mitchell at the end of that last game. He barely could even stand up. That's why they really lost the game, because he he was so tired. It's not his fault that he's tired because he's doing everything. But I'm just saying, like, he's exhausted. And then you got all these guys, the other main guys, hurt for the Cavaliers. The more the game goes, like, if you like the Cavs, I think you take them early. The more the game goes on, Pacers are going to wear them out. They're going to continue to run every chance they get. They're deep. They can rotate. You know, if they want it, they can put 5 guys in, 5 guys out. I like the Pacers +5 as my bet.
Yeah, I mean, I got to say, I was expecting everyone to be taking the Pacers. We've had 205 people vote on this poll. It's split 41%, 41%. So there are a lot of people taking Cleveland here. I think Cleveland wins the game, but I based on what we've seen in games 1 and 2, I couldn't put any money on it. Surprised there are a lot of people that still like Cleveland. I thought Cleveland to win game 3 was kind of like a sharp take, but this number's sitting at 5 and people are still betting Cleveland. So there's a lot of people that still believe in that.
Pick 'em.
Yeah. Well, the line movement with the injuries, it's tough to tell like what was causing what, you know, like who knows what the line was doing in relation to the injury news, but there's a lot of people betting Cleveland. I'm just going to chill on my over though. I'm not touching the Cavs. Chris, I believe I have a Cavs early graphic in here for you.
You do. That's the way I decided to
get in and get out.
Yeah, kind of like what Ski said. I do think that Cleveland. So let's start with this. Disclaimer is we don't know who the fuck is going to be playing, and even if they do play, do they finish the game? Like Darius Garland is dealing with turf toe. Like, does he even play if they're winning this series 2-0? Evan Mobley, how efficient is he going to be? What I said in my show earlier, Kyle, was if you're Cleveland, what you should have done was call up the New York Knicks and, offer top dollar, whatever it is that you need to offer for these guys to get the Jalen Brunson extra ankles or injections or whatever it is. Because Jalen Brunson hits the floor like 10 times a game. He goes to the locker room 12. He comes back 13. I don't know.
That's just called heart. That's just called heart, Chris.
Well, maybe they don't have any in Cleveland then, because that's what the Cavs needed. And it sucks for Cleveland because this was a team that last year they gave Boston a little bit of a run, and then we think back. Jared Allen got hurt, Donovan Mitchell got hurt, and nobody thinks about those injuries afterwards if you lose the series. But as far as this game, I do think that we see. I'm actually hoping that Darius Garland doesn't play. Like, I think Darius Garland hasn't played a basketball game since April the 23rd. So it's been 15 days for him. I think him coming back will inject. I don't know if it's going to be some good energy. I think when you're dealing with a turf toe, it's really hard to shift and move and bounce. And like, he likes to, go left and right. And like, he's just really shifty. So I just want Mobley to be out there. Hunter will be good as well. We go back to the last game. Cleveland came out, we do got to kind of mention that Cleveland probably should have won that game. If you look at the 2-minute report, there were 3 things that came out. 2 of them was against the Cleveland Cavaliers. Well, 2 of them was against the Indiana Pacers violations that should have been called on them. So maybe the NBA, don't want to see the Cleveland Cavaliers go down. I would bet Cleveland money line, but I am agreeing with you, Ski. 5 is a lot to lay, especially on the road. But the reason why I decided to isolate first quarter specifically is, for one, they've won a couple of they won the first quarter at home in game 2. I think for lack of better terms, Kyle, this is what you would say. This is your best fastball. You go down 0-3, you don't come out and you don't put this you don't silence this crowd early, and you're probably in for a long night. So yeah, I think Cleveland gives it everything that they have early. I bet first quarter -1 on DraftKings a little earlier, and I do see that it's moved to 1.5, 2 now. So that's the way I decided to play it. But I can't disagree with your over. I can't disagree with what Ski said either. There's a way that all of us could get paid in this one.
Yeah. I mean, I do. If you put a gun to my head, I do think Cleveland wins this game, but I don't have the backbone to put any money on it. Jeez, this has been. The way they lost game 2 was like, that might have been it for the Cavs, honestly. It was a tough way to lose a basketball game. All right, Oklahoma City, Denver, and this is be very short and sweet. I'm on the Thunder, took the -4.5, and look, I think the market's been a couple points off on this one from the jump. Game 1 was 9.5. I thought it should be 12. Oklahoma City's been the significantly better team. I think what we saw Oklahoma City take a huge lead, take their foot off the gas in game 1, and that's kind of giving us a skewed vision of the gap between these two teams. I think Oklahoma City's considerably better. I think they've been absolutely elite against good teams this year. Whenever they play, their record against good teams, it's like 17-4 or some shit. When they see a good team, they just dominate. So I think the second half of game one is just giving us a warped view. I know it's in Denver in the elevation. I know that's going to scare some people. If you're on the Nuggets, I don't necessarily blame you, but I think unless I see something dramatic that shifts my view, I think it's probably going to be Oklahoma City blind for me in this series. Ski?
Yeah, I did bet the Thunder. It could very well be 2-0. Just letting their foot off the gas in that first game. But I think they've learned from that and know they got to play for the entire game in these playoffs. Denver, I just feel like they're wearing down. This is another game where I could understand, if some people wanted to take Denver first quarter, especially, after they lost by the big margin, and the first quarter is where Jokic plays, he plays pretty much the whole first quarter. I could understand that for the Nuggets, but I think from the second quarter on, the Thunder just kind of controlled this game. So I do like them on the point spread. And for the total, I agree with the movement down. I know it's scary because the Thunder like to play fast. Nuggets willing to play fast and not the best defensive team. The Thunder are a really good defensive team, but I think we're getting defense from the Nuggets today because of what I've kind of mentioned earlier. Like when you get your ass whooped, my bad if I'm not supposed to say that on here, but when you get beat down like that by 40 plus points, like you got to have some pride, and they're gonna come out and play with effort. Like the coach kept saying in the interview how they got punked. So you look at the stat sheet. 24 fast break points, 20 second chance points for OKC, just dominating the paint at will. Like Denver is gonna play better on that defensive end. If they're not gonna do anything else, they're gonna play some better defense today. Does it mean they're gonna win and cover? No, but it means that we should get a lower scoring game. So under and OKC is what I like.
I'm not opposed to an under. I took an over in game 2. It was down at 228.5. We're talking about 233.5 now. So the market shifted. So I'm not against an under. And I agree with what Ski said when he said that they learned from that second half in game 1, because we saw it in game 2. They were up big. The Nuggets went on a nice little 9-0 run there in the third quarter, hit a couple threes, and it was kind of a moment where it's like, this isn't about to happen again. They shut that shit down quickly and went on an 8-0 run and just put it to bed. So I agree. I think we're going to see four full quarters here. They're not going to let that happen again. We're polling at almost 70% Oklahoma City, so it looks like everyone's betting the Thunder. I don't care. I'm on OKC. Chris?
What's the worst that could happen? I chose to play OKC a different way. I played OKC second quarter. Minus 1.5. Wow. These are the non-Jokic minutes, Kyle. Denver comes out, they throw the first punch most of the time. Even though, and if what you guys are saying is right, I heard Ski mention if you like Denver, maybe you play him first quarter because Jokic is gonna be in there. Second quarter, Jokic goes to the bench, and you got the let's just say not the greatest decision maker comes into the
undesirables.
Game. Yeah, there you go. The undesirables come in, and I think that's when OKC will punch back in this game. So, I think if you just go through and look at the numbers, they're -3 in the playoffs. The Denver Nuggets are their worst quarter in the playoffs so far. I think they've won one of the last 5 first quarters. In most of them, they've been absolutely getting smoked too. Outside of Game 7, when they beat the Clippers really, really bad, but they've lost both second quarters by margin, 6 points or more. So. I really wanted to get there with the 5. By the time I went to go bet it, it moved to 5.5. 5 is a key number. So I stayed off of it. I do kind of think that they still win by margin, but I feel better with the OKC second quarter -1.5 here. So yeah, I agree with a lot of what you guys said. A couple other things I'll mention from a trend perspective. It feels like road favorites laying 5 points or more is pretty significant. Whenever you're going on the road and you're laying, 2 possessions, 35-12 straight up, 27-18 against the number. If it's second round or not, never mind. Forget that. Road favorites in game 3 who won game 2 by 20 points or more after losing game 1. So you lose game 1, you come back home. You're still at home. You punch the team in the mouth in game 2. Typically go on the road and play really well in game 3. 9-1 straight up, 8-1-1 against the spread. This dates all the way back to 2004.
Whoa. So teams that blow a team out in game 2 at home
After losing game one, though,
Wow.
right? Because it's important that you lose game. Well, it's not important that you lose game one, but it's important to put in context that a game was already stolen from you, right? So then you come out, you punch them in the mouth, right? And then you got to go on the road and you land at least 5 points or more. 8-1-1 against the number. I thought that was
holy shit.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty contrasting. So yeah, I agree with you guys. I just didn't lay the latest. It's up to 6 now on some books too. So yeah, what number did you get, Ski? You get 5?
I got 4.5.
4.5.
Yep.
Both of y'all got 4.5. Yeah, late man to the party here. Hate to see it.
The early
There's
bird
a 6
gets the
popping up at Caesars and a couple other shops right now.
Yeah, I saw that too, Ski. Yeah, I saw that too.
Yeah, I see Caesar. DraftKings is 6 as well. So, all right, gentlemen, enjoy your weekend. I'm sure I'll talk to you. Let's go Knicks. Hopefully you're on New York tomorrow afternoon. Do the right thing, guys. Do the right thing. All right, I'm going to bring the baseball guys on. Talk to you guys.
Fellas, best of luck. Best of luck this weekend.
All right. No, can you? I told him 4:15, so really he should be joining right now. Why does this look like we're way off center here? Because we are. Weird. I don't know how that happened. Yeah, it's the producer. Blame the producer.
I knew that'd piss him off, guys.
The producer's fault. It's gotta be. All right. I'm sure Lindy will be joining us in a second. Let me check my Twitter, see if he's messaged me. He said 2 minutes. Okay, cool. So Lindy will be right here in a second. First up, Rangers Tigers. Toast, did you see one of the comments called you cute?
Someone also said I was what was the other one? Antagonist?
Yeah.
I shouldn't be the antagonist of the show. Lots of good comments yesterday. I love them all. I appreciate you all.
Since when is Toast fake sharp? Only taking underdogs. He's always taking underdogs. Since 2020. Comments are funny. All right, so we'll wait for. We could start this one because this isn't the most interesting game on the board. Basically, nothing has changed here from what I said last night. It would only be under or pass. I don't see any reason to try to take Texas to hit Scoopable. I'm just not seeing it. The Rangers lineup has been terrible. But at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised if Detroit's lineup comes out a little flat. You're talking about coming off a doubleheader in Coors Field, which is basically another planet in terms of the elevation. So a doubleheader in the elevation of Coors Field, you immediately fly home against a lefty, which I know that the Tigers' numbers against lefties are actually pretty good this year. I don't trust this lineup as much against lefties. So I wouldn't be surprised if Corbin is able to put together a decent start, like 5 innings, 2 runs type of thing. I didn't bet it. 7.5 seems low with Corbin because there's always that risk that he could just get absolutely nuked. So just under a pass for me.
Yeah, it would be only Detroit for me. I wish like hell I could get to Texas here, but I mean, Detroit, even with playing in Colorado and using or having that doubleheader yesterday, they're still going to have a full rested bullpen behind Scoobel. So the under makes sense. The only thing that I didn't play it is kind of like what Kyle said. Corbin's been very good this year, and I do mean that he's been very good, especially in the context of what we think about Patrick Corbin in general. But at the same time, he's very liable to give it up. But at the same time, I get that Detroit played in Colorado yesterday, and I 1,000% agree with Kyle. It's like another planet. But Detroit's been scoring like 5-6 runs a game for like 10, 12 games right now, going back to LA and against Houston as well. So again, spot wise, absolutely, it's definitely not the best spot, but it would only be Detroit for me. I didn't bet this game, but it would only be Detroit for me. I mean, the amount of runs this team is putting up is just absolutely insane. So,
and I don't think Lindy even has a pick graphic for this one, so we'll just move on because I could see the graphics here. I can see which picks he has. I don't even see one for this game. So, damn, why am we off center, man? That's gonna be annoying. All right, Braves Pirates. Not the Athletics. People were upset about the graphics last night. See, now that the Athletics aren't Oakland, they're no longer OAK. The graphics are automatically loaded based on the abbreviations that I type. So I must have typed ATH instead of ATL. It's just one letter difference now. Lindy's here. So yeah, I don't think he even had anything in the Rangers Tigers game, but we'll bring him on.
That was pretty funny though. Like we caught the mistake within like 2 seconds, and then somebody comments, "How do you trust these guys?
Yeah,
you made one mistake."
Yeah, everything's auto loaded based on the abbreviation. So yeah, Lindy, you didn't have anything in Rangers Tigers, did you?
Rangers Tigers, I did not. It's an annoying baseball game. You get a really good pitcher and somebody who's supposed to be a really bad pitcher at the moment. And Patrick Corbin's pitching better. I don't know what to say about it. I think he's going to turn back into a pumpkin sooner rather than later, but I'm not touching it.
Yeah, I said under a pass. Really nothing there. Next up, we got Bryce Elder on the road. I'm putting the Pirates money line up. I did not bet this, but Trevor was talking about it last night. The Pirates just fire the manager, right? It's like a bump spot. Maybe they come out with some energy. I don't know if that's necessarily a baseball thing more, or like in football, maybe, because you come out with a different game plan and your scripted plays in the beginning may completely catch. So I could see it in a different sport. I don't know if baseball necessarily fits that description, but Lindy, any reason to believe this is a quote unquote bump spot for the Pirates?
No, coaching is the most important in football, and I don't think there's a remotely close second when it comes to sports, because scheme, you get players that fit your scheme. You get so many other things. In baseball, there's situational stuff where you might bring in a different reliever because you have a different belief system on what you might need in a specific spot, but it's so dependent upon the talent that you have, and it's such an individual batter event deal that I pretty much put zero stock into it. I do lean towards the Pittsburgh side for whatever it's worth. I think O'Neal Cruz homer is worth a look. I saw plus 460 earlier in the day. I'm probably not going to end up playing it. I think this is a pretty clear-cut home run card for me. Played 4 plays. I think I got toast on one of them. So that makes me feel happy. You're just like, what? Yeah, so I'm just throwing up all the tracking for it. Just trying to show people that, like, you're going to miss a lot of home runs over the course of an MLB season. And I'm going to be profitable like I have every single year with MLB home runs, but I don't think people understand. It's partially because of screenshot life, people who hit 3 home run parlays and that are doing stuff over on X, and it's just really, really annoying. But O'Neal Cruz is just on the outside looking in. It's Bailey Falter going for the Pittsburgh side. I think all the Atlanta numbers are just inconceivable, like playing any home run on that side of things. I actually looked at an Austin Riley double, which is really, really weird. But overall, I think the market's pretty efficient in this game. I'm going to be passing. Yeah,
the way I look at it is if some people really aren't ready for that kind of stuff. Like to understand, if you take a plus 190 bet, it's still probably not going to hit. But if it's supposed to be plus 150, if the fair price is plus 150, it's a valuable bet to place. And it's, you can get frustrated sometimes, but honestly, I think just some people aren't ready to hear it yet. It's not really a matter of, it's just a matter of where they are. Eventually they'll get it.
No, but the funny part about it is, but those same people that aren't ready to hear that will flex when they hit like a couple 170 money line plays.
Yeah, but that's
like, where did we go?
I mean, that's just the process, man. They're pumped. Yeah, they'll get there. All right, Toast. What are the fake sharps on?
Pirates team total over 3.5 minus 125. That's what.
Wait,
the fake
you really
bet
this?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay. Well, good times.
All right. I wasn't expecting that.
I think this is it's just more of a me kind of calling bullshit on what we've seen from Bryce Elder. I get the Pirates' bats are bad. You're not going to hear an argument out of me about that, but I do think that Bryce Elder has pitched over his head a little bit the last couple starts, especially that Dodgers start. He looked pretty damn good for Bryce Elder, but prior to that, he's really not striking guys out. The command isn't really all there. This is going to be like Trevor said, a little bit of a bump spot for the Pirates. I don't want to deal with Bailey Falter in that bullpen, but I think that the Pirates might be able to scrape across 4 tonight. And I did bet that at minus 125.
I mean, you won't get much pushback from me when it comes to fading Bryce Elder on the road. Trust me. I'm not going to. Yeah. I don't like the Pirates bats.
I just thought this price would be like plus 140, plus 135. And the fact that it's not is a little bit weird to me for the money line. Like, I don't know. It's a little bit weird to me. Go ahead, Tuss.
And not that the Atlanta bullpen is in a situation, but Iglesias is 2 of the last 3 days. Pierce Johnson 2 of the last 3 days. Dylan Lee back-to-back days, and they use Montero and Blewett, whatever the hell his name is, yesterday as well. So there's definitely an avenue for the Pirates to score some runs.
I agree. I do agree.
So next up is Cardinals Nats, and it looks like Lindy has a first 5 over here. Oh shit! I have a first 5 over here also. The model play. My model likes it.
I didn't play it because, I mean, what did you get it at for a price?
Minus 105.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. But when did that change? When did you bet it?
Last night. I bet it last. Is it gone now? I haven't even looked.
No. It opened at minus 130, and I had a flag set up for it because anytime I'm just like, all right, I think it's going to dip below this number. I think it was just like Hard Rock and Caesars that had it introduced. I'm going to bet it now, so that's good to know. First 5 over 4.5. I just really don't like either of these starting pitchers. You get Parker, you get Fetty. Eric Fetty, 282 expected batting average, 13% K rate, 13% walk rate. When your walk rate and your K rate are identical, I'm probably going to target you in some capacity. That's the rules. Them's the rules, friends. So, yeah, there's definitely that on this one side. And then Mitchell Parker, I mean, it's nearly that for him as well. 12% K rate, 11.4% walk rate. I went through his mix quite a bit because he had one good outing against Pittsburgh a while back that somebody put me on, and he ended up having his 6th strikeout game against them. That has way more to do with what Pittsburgh's been doing against left-handed pitching, which is striking out a lot. 25.6% K rate, just a 68 WRC plus from them. So it got me working through Mitchell Parker's mix a little bit more. I find pretty much every pitch that he offers to be negative. So, yeah, that's bad in baseball. So we're going to probably target both starters. It's decent enough weather. I'm here for it.
Yeah, I mean, I got the same thing, and I have the exact time here. So at 12:13 a.m. Eastern time, I got a minus 105 on first 5 over 4.
Oh, yeah, burn that midnight oil, son.
We were live. I bet it on the stream.
Every night, baby.
And so
all right, I'm going to bet this right now. Too.
Mine was based solely on the model. Seriously, my model had just over 6 runs being scored in the first 5 innings. So I was like, guys, model play, I'm taking it. Wasn't anything like against Mitchell Parker or Fetty. I actually don't even mind either starter. It's just model says just over 6 runs. This is my smallest bet of the day, but I did take it.
I have Nats first 5 minus 120. Don't want to deal with the Nats bullpen, but really not a big Fetty guy. And I've talked about a lot on this show that this Nationals offense gets a huge bump when they're at home, at least for me. And on top of that, I'm not like a big Mitchell Parker fan, but I'm getting him off of 2 terrible starts. He had 2 really good starts against Baltimore and Pittsburgh before that. And the fact of the matter is this Cardinals team really isn't hitting left-handed pitching at all. They got 3 off of Peterson and 7 off of Valdez, but guys like Andrew Abbott, Quintana, Tyler Alexander, Sean Newcomb all pitched extremely well against these guys. So I'm not trying to make a case that I don't mind the over either, but I think that I think Washington can get to Fetty, and I think that Mitchell Parker can pitch well enough to get us a win through this first 5.
You saw Ivan Herrera's back, though. Absolute lefty killer. Lefty killer. He's back in the lineup
on his first day. Good for him.
Hairston's in the comments. He says, why not just bet the full game over? Washington's bullpen's terrible. Trust me, I get it. Literally was just following the model for a small bet. This isn't anything like I'm all in on this or anything. It was just the model said over 6 runs in the first 5. I said, screw it. That's enough of a lean. I'll place a small bet on it.
And both bullpens are fully rested. So everybody knows the Washington Nationals bullpen is terrible, but again, you kind of want to try to pick on them when they're a little bit light too.
I got it at minus 108, so I'm in with you.
Cool.
So we're ready.
Yeah, we're off center. Brewers Rays, biggest bet of the day. What could possibly go wrong?
No, Lindy, this is the bet of the year.
This is my. I said it tongue in. I did say that.
He's backing up now because he doesn't like knowing that he did it.
I'm scared now.
I'm just scared of where you're going to go with this. This better be
Brewers minus
Milwaukee.
1. Well, I mean, it's at minus 120 now. I
got Milwaukee, right?
Oh, absolutely. Brewers all the way.
Okay, good. Okay. I thought you were going to say like Tampa Bay. I'm not believing in Q or whatever.
No.
Anything that backs Zach Littell is drunk.
It's not just Littell. It's so. Whoever, me and Toast were actually talking about this last night. We were watching the end of the Phillies. Where the heck is my Brewers graphic?
Tampa against lefties.
Yeah, I don't know where my Brewers graphic is. Hold on, I want to find it. Whatever. I also bet minus 1.5. So I have Brewers money line minus 108 and Brewers minus 1.5 plus 150. It's my biggest bet of the day. I did say bet of the year, but please just chill.
I shouldn't even have said that. He was joking.
A bet of the year. Like, I don't want people to go crazy. I really like
My
this.
show is called Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. I'm a piece of shit too. Don't mind me.
I just want everyone to chill. I did say that, but it was like more for fun than like, please be responsible. But that being said, I do really like the Brewers here. Me and Toast were talking about this last night. Whoever on the Tampa coaching staff made the decision to use all of their bullpen arms, not on Wednesday when they were down 7-0. I would like to see that one explained, because you got into last night and that cost them the game. And I want to show you guys something. I'm going to bring up the Tampa Bay bullpen.
I needed that, by the way, in the worst way. The Philly thing.
Me too.
I actually had things go my way yesterday. It was unbelievable. And then Toronto comes back from down 4-0 to cover a run line for me in the late night window. I couldn't believe it. I was like, what are these good feelings?
I had the Phillies late and Braves team total over 4.5 in the 11th. I was like,
let's go.
So here's the Rays bullpen. You've got Fairbanks back-to-back days. You've got Ucheta back-to-back days. You've got Clevenger back-to-back days. You've got Manuel Rodriguez back-to-back days. You've got Mason Montgomery, who will be available. He's thrown 2 of the last 3. So just who is pitching the late innings?
Mason Montgomery's thrown 8 pitches total for what?
No, I know. He's going to be available. Okay. Montgomery's going to be available, but he's their best arm available is Mason Montgomery. Look at the names of the guys we're going to see pitching for Tampa Bay. They called up Connor Seabold. Oh my God, is that Seabold from the Rockies?
Yes, it is.
Oh my God, I might double down. please put Seabold in the game.
Yeah. No, I was going to say live bet is definitely in play for me here in this game, because I do think this is one that we can adjust for, that a model isn't going to necessarily do it. It's going to increase it up to like 30. So you're going to probably have 30 cents instead of 20 cents. That'll probably get increased. But overall, Milwaukee money line will be an interesting live play. Do you have anything else you wanted to finish out on?
I just wanted to say, in addition to that, you got the Rays coming off an extra innings game against Philly, a heartbreaker. Milwaukee had the day off. So I also even like the spot for the Brewers too. Brewers, the only hesitation I have is first of all, the Rays have been terrible against left-handed pitching. I'm a little worried about they've now seen 3 lefties in the last 4 days. Quintana will be the 3rd lefty. I don't love that, but they've been bad against lefties. Quintana's been solid. I think the Brewers get to Littell. I like the matchup for the Brewers across the board. Yeah, Milwaukee money line, Milwaukee -1.5. I'm on. Lindy, I have a Brewers hitter prop here for you.
Yeah, I've got a couple of hitter props that I think are very, very interesting. Bryce Terang +120 is where I got this at. I think best available +115 I'm seeing available at BetMGM Hard Rock. Oh, +116 Caesars. So there you go. There's your best number that you can get right now. Batting second, this guy's just insane. And I want very badly to click +1100 over at DraftKings or Onyx Odds for Mr. Bryce Terang to go yard. I'm not going to at the moment, but he just smashes the baseball for a guy who's at 1,100 in the home run market. So I looked at total bases. I want to be invested in his success here. I have this over a 50% expected win percentage, and it's plus money. Those things are generally auto bets for me, but 103 batted ball events so far this season, 92.5 mile per hour exit velocity off of it. That's a big number. That's second best on the entire Brewers team, and a team with Jake Bauers and Rhys Hoskins and Yelich, who's known to hit a ball hard, even though it's always on the ground these days. William Contreras. I mean, this is ridiculous how good he's been against righties. And he gets Zach Littell on the other side. He gets a muted bullpen. And that's really the other part of this equation that people don't talk about enough. You have 5-6 innings you're going to have for Littell. If you just project it out that way, you could put 15.5 outs in like what is in the marketplace and just kind of project it that way. But you're getting 3 innings of just the worst bullpen arms. And it is very hard for me to imagine a scenario where Bryce Terang plus money for this kind of a marketplace in this hitting environment. Again, Steinbrenner Field's just been awesome to start off the season. It's going to get even better as we get into the summer months where it's 90 at first pitch with 100% humidity. Can't wait for a couple of those days, but this is a 9.5 total. You're getting the 2-hole hitter at +120. Felt too good to be true, but I clicked it.
So someone said in the comments, Toast is about to say some fake sharp shit. I can see it on his face.
Oh no.
Nope. You guys should just keep on betting against Tampa with the world at a cheap price. I'm sure it's going to be free again. That's all I got to say.
You said the same thing yesterday on my Phillies.
I know. That's what I said. I can't. There's nothing I can say. Keep on betting.
The market likes Tampa.
To do with this game. I want nothing to do with this game.
Bryce Terang?
Nope. I got Brandon Lowe, hit runs and RBIs at plus 125 though.
Yeah, I looked at Yelich too, and Yelich might get played by me too.
Did Hoskins get a bump for you?
I'll tell you right now.
I just thought that price was so weird for him.
Well, I mean, to be fair, he's kind of been in like a platoon situation somewhat.
I know. Well, that's why I asked. I thought it was just so
plus
weird.
130. I think that's doable as well. I won't do it because it's Rhys Hoskins at the moment, but
I had him circled too.
I'm with you.
This next game, me and Lindy, we're on opposite sides here. Lindy, I saw you're on the Phillies. I'm on Cleveland. Right. I wouldn't say I love it, but I kind of like my position here, plus 108. Kind of reminds me of I had Arizona money line last night against the Dodgers solely on the spot. I mean, the Dodgers coming out of South Florida where they put up 10 runs, fly across the country into the desert against an Arizona team that had the night off. It kind of reminds me of that. Phillies just played an extra inning game all the way down in Tampa, fly up to Cleveland. They used some bullpen arms. Now, the Phillies bullpen isn't absolutely taxed or anything. They did use a couple arms. I doubt you'll see Strom in this one. You saw Alvarado last night. Cleveland bullpen completely rested. Cleveland lineup loaded with lefties. Aaron Nola struggles with lefties. To me, if there's a spot for Cleveland to steal one in this series, it's right here. I know nobody wants to play on Gavin Williams. He was in that Toronto game. I watched it. It was painful. I'm not going to defend Gavin Williams. It hurts a little bit to even bet on him, but I like my bet here. Cleveland plus 108. You're on the Phillies, right, Lindy?
I'm definitely on the Phillies here. Yeah. We're getting into a ballpark if you just go like custom park factors. I mean, Philly's been playing really, really nice to start off this season, but I get it's, minus 125 and, you have a completely rested Cleveland bullpen that's starting to improve. And obviously Clase hasn't screwed up for a week. So that has to feel good if you're a Cleveland fan. So enjoy that. Maybe he gets himself back here, but I know Harper struggled to some extent. I know that Kyle Schwarber didn't have the best series for Kyle Schwarber, even though he still went yard in one of those games down in Tampa. This just comes down to a ballpark factor against Gavin Williams that I think is going to be very problematic for him. You're going into Cleveland with Progressive Field that plays way up for lefty power with Stott, Harper, Schwarber, Castellanos, Kepler. 5 of your top 6. And these are all plus lefties against Gavin Williams, who just really can't figure it out whatsoever against that handedness. I mean, it's been worse against righties this season. 2.41 whip is hilarious to look at, but overall, you go back to like 2024 and you work through some of his mix. I mean, it's just not pretty. He's going to end up walking some of these guys more than he should. I mean, the walk rate continues to ascend. He's had a 25.3% K rate, which, obviously you have some strikeouts there, but do people recognize like Kyle Schwarber really isn't striking out this season? Like, it's incredible. He's at a 20%.
He's on like a 35 game on base streak or something. It's insane.
It's incredible to watch. Yeah. People don't realize if you take Kyle Schwarber and take him from 28.5% K rate where he was at last year to 20%, we're talking a chasm of difference in terms of projecting him going forward because he gets bat on ball a lot already. He now has an OBP of 406, which is 40 points higher than last season, with very capable hitters behind him. I don't know what to tell you other than Philly money line. Everything I have really, really likes it. My major concern here, I thought, was the bullpen, but Cleveland so far this season hasn't really been as dominant in that way as was expected. And Jose Alvarado, maybe he's righted the ship. I mean, he had a terrible, terrible loss. Last Sunday that I was watching? Yeah. But overall, it's still a bullpen that's staying intact, has a number of lefties it can bring in against, the Cleveland side that has some lefties to be concerned about yourself. And then to round it all off, Philly side, Aaron Nola, it hasn't been pretty to start off his season either, but I think he can just find a way to get it done for us.
Toast, you want to break the tie?
Well, yeah, I think, didn't you tail me with Cleveland?
Oh, yeah, that's right, I did. My bad.
I like Cleveland. To Lindy's point about the Phillies bullpen and having lefties, part of the reason that I liked Philly is because the one lefty that's in the middle relief situation, Tanner Banks, he went 27 yesterday. So if we're in a situation we're late in the ball game and we need Cleveland to score runs off of Strom and Alvarado, we're probably already beat anyway. So to that point. Again, I just think this is a really good spot for for Cleveland. Sauce talked about most of the things I was going to hit on, but Aaron Nola really struggling with the lefty bats. And I'm not really convinced that Gavin Williams is as bad as he has shown. I might just end up just taking some L's on that one. That's fine. I'll do that. But again, he's been somewhat serviceable for me. I get the numbers aren't really great, but I'm a results-driven guy. I don't use those computers. So Cleveland money line for me. Cleveland money line for me.
You kids and your damn computers.
It's so funny, too, because I feel like there's a lot of things in baseball where I'll go to a no ball take and kind of override it, which isn't always the case because this is the most data-driven sport, I believe. Right. But, it isn't. We just have such a long sample size over the course of this entire year where it's like I can evaluate things and fix it. I think that's usually why I suck in April, and then things really turn on in May. That's my rationale for why it happens, because 3 straight Aprils not profitable at MLB, and I've been profitable every year.
It makes sense too. The more data you're going to have, the better decisions you're going to make.
The way I do it is I like to model the games out strictly off the data and then add the situational stuff on at the end, like coming off extra innings or traveling across the country, and add that onto the data-driven stuff, combine it into one concoction. Cubs on the road in Citi Field. I'm not even going to I'll put it up on the screen, actually. I didn't bet it. I said last night I kind of liked both starting pitchers to pitch well. Said first 5 under 4, but honestly, either one of these lineups could go nuclear. So it's just, I'll put first 5 under 4 up. Did not bet this. Toast, you sticking with the Cubs?
Yeah, I bet them plus 130. Nothing huge, probably my smallest bet of the day, but just getting this Cubs team that I think that hasn't played well over the last 4 or 5 days or whatever, but I don't really put too much stock into that. I think that the Giants are a really good baseball team, but regardless, you have Jameson Taillon, who, for whatever reason, I don't know how, I really don't. I've never really been a fan of Jameson Taillon, but for whatever reason, he just continues to pitch well. And so it's really hard for me to believe that. First of all, I'm still not a believer of this Mets offense. Not yet. I get that they've performed well, but I really think it's the pitching staff that's really doing it. Again, I know that they have guys like Soto and Lindor and Pete Alonso, and Pete Alonso's been fantastic. But as far as just the offense as a whole, I'm just really not scared of the Mets right now. When Soto starts getting going and maybe things change a little bit, as far as that right now, I'm not really there. But I just feel like this is going to be probably, not even close. This is going to be the best offense that Clay Holmes has seen so far this year. On the road at Miami twice, Minnesota once, St. Louis, Washington, and St. Louis again. So I just think this is a huge, huge step up in class for Clay Holmes against this Cubs offense. And everybody, I get that the Cubs bullpen has had some issues the last couple of days. I'm at a point where unless I see Ryan Presley get throttled like that again, I'm not really going to worry about Ryan Presley until I actually see it with my own eyes. So Cubs money line plus 130. It was like my smallest bet of the day.
I will say, just to push back a little bit, he said Clay Holmes has had easy competition. That's fair. You look at the recent righty starters that the Cubs have seen, there are also some easy competition in there. They did get to Skeens. They hit a few home runs off ball Skeens, but other than that, you got Verlander, Landon Rupp, Tobias Myers, Quinn Priester, Taijuan Walker, Dustin May, Bludzinski. They've seen a lot of easy righty starters also. Lindy, what do you agree with Toast's Cubs pick here?
No, I don't have a lot to say about the game. I will talk about this because I think this is a nice edge to maybe have going forward, and it's something I've been paying attention to a lot. I think the Cubs' weather last season has really thrown into disarray some of the opening numbers for Cubs starters. The weather last year in Chicago was as pitcher-friendly as we've ever seen. And in 2024 last year, you go to home away splits. Let's go through this for Jameson Taillon alone. At home, last season, 266 WOBA, 249 WOBA this season. Again, it's been pretty nice outside of one game where Corbin Burns actually pitched a gem, and then there were 48 nuclear home runs in the 7th to 9th inning between both teams. I ended up Colin Ray was the pitcher on the other side of that one. There has been wind blowing in from Wrigley a lot more than there's been wind blowing out for the last year and a half. So there's that. So 266 WOBA, 249 WOBA. Those are his home 2024, 2025 numbers. Last year, 316 WOBA for him on the road, 329 WOBA. And you can do this with every pitcher. Shota Imanaga has been a guy that I just went out and targeted every single road start I humanly possibly could. He got some of the best matchup-based metrics for me. And then the weather was just incredible for Cubs pitchers at home. Really look at home road splits for teams like that, teams like Colorado. That's going to be where you can maybe find an edge in the marketplace that use overall data on the pitcher. There's been a comfort, I think, for a lot of Cubs pitchers in Wrigley relative to other ballparks.
Yeah, I feel like last year I had a better feel on those totals in Wrigley than I do this year. I feel like I lost on a couple already, and I'm kind of just chilling on the totals in Wrigley. I feel like when you started talking about how the weather being different in Wrigley Field this year, I was like, yup. Like, because I feel
it's funny because I was just about to say I'd like somebody, if we got to start keeping track of like high wind weather games in Chicago, because like, not that I've already bet the Cubs, but like that series versus the Giants, I mean, there was weather in every single one of those games, whether positive or negative, and it was huge. So it's just something that I wish I should be keeping track of, I guess I should say that. Yeah,
another thing you want to always pay attention to is BABIP, because like it can be a low BABIP, but if the ball's getting put in play and you're not having strikeout arms, it's going to be more detrimental to you over any long-term sample. Like if you have a strikeout arm with, a relatively high BABIP, those are the guys who are due for positive regression. Those guys don't really exist for the Cubs. They've been guys who pitch to contact for years and years and years, whether it was Hendricks or, like the tail end of a number of different careers for the Cubs where they've had some elder statesmen coming in there and pitch. But it was definitely a data point that I looked at early on this season. And I'm like, there's something here. So anyway, we can move along. I didn't have anything for that game.
Also, Tyone's been really good against lefties.
Yes.
Soto, Nimmo, Beatty, Nick
Lindor.
Neal, all lefties.
Lindor will be on the left side.
Switch.
Yeah, but it'll be on the left side for this game.
I know, I'm just saying.
This next one, I did bet this game. I actually forgot that I placed this bet until just now. I kind of did it out of spite because Toast was like, Toast went on a rant and clearly was triggered last night when I implied that the Royals bats have been hitting. They have been hitting. Yes, maybe they're struggling to get the runs across, but they have been hitting. And Toast got so triggered by this that I went and bet this over out of spite. So you got the Red Sox leaving Fenway.
Always a good reason to make a bet.
Real quick. I wanted to address a comment. It was from Adam Westbury, who's a cool guy, always positive dude. He commented, he's like, talk to us, Toast, that you guys are always talking about how Boston is struggling at home, but they're 11-9 this year. They have a better record at home than on the road. Well, they have yes, it's the price. And it's a good question. They have a negative 11% ROI at home, which is 25th in baseball. So even though that could be a little bit misleading, yes, they're 11-9 at home, but if you're going 11-9 priced at minus 165, you're not making money betting that. So we're not necessarily looking, are they winning at home? It's, are they playing above expectations? Are they exceeding the market at home? And which is no. In the last 3 seasons, the Red Sox at home, 25th, 27th, 24th. So this has been one of the least profitable home teams every year for 3 consecutive seasons. It looks like this year's right on par. So it was a good question. Anyway, yet the Red Sox going back on the road where they're always, this is always a strong road offense. And we always kind of see the Red Sox bats explode when they leave Fenway. It's like they leave Fenway and it's like, oh shit, this team can hit again. Against Lorenzen, who I don't really like. I've never really been a Michael Lorenzen guy. Kansas City has been hitting. We just haven't seen the runs getting across. Hunter Dobbins, not a fan. I just went over. Yes, part of it was out of spite of Toast getting triggered last night.
I love that. I can't think of a better reason to place a bet than it'll tilt him. Yeah.
It's not going to tilt me. It's just that everybody glazes this Royals team because they're winning games and they're not scoring runs. Like
I bet Boston, so I'm with
Boston?
you. I hope I did bet Boston. I did.
No, what happened was I was like, guys, this Royals lineup is coming around. He was like, no, they're not.
Like, he was just saying.
Oh, God. I got this at minus 108 now, minus 110. You've got minus 120 on the screen. So just want to throw out, it's minus 110, pretty much consensus across the industry right now. Take that for what you will. I don't know what to make of Hunter Dobbins, but so far so good. Not a ton of strikeout stuff, but I love the fact that he it feels like he's a veteran pitcher. He almost is like pitching to his strengths. I don't know a better way of describing it than that. 3.38 expected ERA, 3.78 actual ERA. So due for positive regression there, but he gets the split finger in certain matchups against lefties, and it's just really good. And there's obviously only one lefty you're really that concerned about in the Kansas City Royals lineup. So I'm not saying that it's this or that, but like, I do think that split finger is a pitch he should start throwing to righties and see what happens. I know it's got a different break on it, but he's throwing a four-seamer like 45% of the time, getting ahead in some counts. He's got to avoid massive contact there because of 452 slugging, 406 expected slugging. Not great, but I will say I think he's getting a little unlucky with that pitch being his primary and getting it hit up as much as it is. And then the slider's good, 44.4% whiff percentage, 33.3% put away percentage, just basically meaning that if he's getting ahead in counts, I think he's going to be able to find some like sneaky strikeout upside coming out in some future outings. I don't think this is the spot. This is a Royals team. I'm not going to glaze them to use your words there necessarily, but like Kansas City strikes out a league low against righties, and that's not going to be good for Dobbins. But in future outings, I think he's going to have strikeout upside. And this being one that he's already kind of like, hey, I know I'm not going to be getting a ton of strikeouts. He's doing a really good job with these off-speed pitches. Just has to get ahead in some counts. He should be fine. I don't really understand this price. And then going up against Lorenzen where, lefties, other than one fluke no-hitter once upon a time, this guy was an outfielder for the Cincinnati Reds turned pitcher. I mean, what are we actually doing, Mike Lorenzen? The days of him throwing 100+ out of the bullpen are done. I don't really like any of his mix. We're going to target him with Boston lefties.
Are you on Boston too, Toast? I don't even know what Toast is on here.
I didn't bet this game. No interest in betting this game. I do have a question for Lindy though. How much, with only 3 starts, how much stock do you put in like to the splits and stuff? Because that's the one thing that really kind of held me off of Dobbins is that he's going to be facing 8 lefty bats, 7 lefty or righty bats in that lineup. Does that bother you too much? That's a serious question. It's not a gotcha.
Oh, yeah, no, it's not a gotcha at all. And I know what you're saying. So he's pitched with Worcester. He had a 1.57 whip in just 3 starts against lefties there. So obviously there's some lefties there. But once again, I'm never concerned about Kansas City going up against lefties, and their righties hit righties better traditionally. You go back to 2024, you have more of a sample size for him, but he has a 1.04 whip against righties in 25 games that he pitched at the minor league level last season. That was split between AA and Worcester, so a little bit louder sample size. But this, get this. He pitched 124 2/3 innings at the AA and AAA level last year. He gave up only 2 home runs. Like, that is insanity. So you're talking a team that gets by on a ton of power on the Kansas City side. I do think he does a pretty good job. Again, I don't know how to describe it. When I go through the data for him and work through like the fact that he's preventing home runs, the fact that he feels like a veteran pitcher as a 25-year-old, because normally you see a 25-year-old with like a 28% K rate, but then they have a 12% walk rate and they have to figure it out at the big league level. He's like ready to go right now. I think with three starts, I'm not going to look too much into that, but you go through his AAA data, I think he's a pretty impressive prospect.
Yeah, fair. And somebody mentioned Lorenzen at home in the comments. I don't know who, whatever. He's faced Colorado and Minnesota at the beginning of the year. None of those teams can hit. That's why his home numbers look good.
Next one's Marlins White Sox. I have nothing to say, so you guys can go
I would
ahead.
rather kill myself than watch this baseball game.
Toast, are we skipping?
I'll watch a few innings of Max Meyer, but that's about it. Skip.
All right, let's go.
Can Matt Mervis stop striking out every time? Bro, I swear to God. Here's the thing. He pops at the top of my model to hit a home run every day, and I never bet it. And I always feel better about my life. So that's good. But I'm tracking it. Can you stop it? Hit a ball. Hit a ball.
So now we're on to Reds, Astros.
Oh, my God. It's even worse than I thought. Jesus Christ.
No, this is fantastic baseball.
You like this game, Lindy?
I do now. There's something I really like.
Go ahead.
I
got nothing. I got nothing for Reds.
I didn't bet this game either.
Okay, so we're gonna go to the first 5 total runs section of the old department here, and we're gonna take an under. So we're going first 5 under, and this just really has to do with the construction of this Houston lineup in a ballpark against a righty who's not allowing a lot of like straight off crazy contact, and that's Nick Martinez, 36.2% hard hit. And he's getting all righties. Again, without Alvarez in this lineup, you get a guy like Nick Martinez out there, and I think he can just find ways to be successful. So let me find the exact ticket that I placed so that I'm not. Yeah.
Can I ask you a quick question too? Because I'm sure people are going to ask. Would you rather play 4 at 115 or 110 or 3.5 at plus 115?
I can tell you here in a second. So 1 run is obviously a big deal because you're talking about the most likely outcome It's such a valuable one when you get into this market.
I would pay for the 4. I just
yeah.
figured that people were
Let me
going to
find it
ask
here.
because I see it split.
So I had 4.5, and that was at -125. It's now 4 -115 at ESPN Bet, or I would rather, I think, go to the 3.5 plus 116 on FanDuel for like a small play.
Okay.
Again, the math of it is basically like looking at what happens when you have certain teams that get guys on base. What's their home run probability? Like, what's the massive outcome of, like, when you simulate out a baseball game 10,000 times, like, what are you going to run into? Well, if the distribution is going to be sitting, because 0, 1, 2, 3, people are like, oh, I can't believe you won by the hook or doing what? Well, the most likely outcome was 2, 3, or 4. So, like, we're talking about when you're buying into that little carving of pie, you need to just truly take a look at, like, all right, 20 cents, 30 cents. What's the difference between this half run? And that half run is extremely valuable, but we're talking about, I think, 2 and 3 being, just looking at my distribution stuff, because that's how I do it. 2 and 3 are the most likely outcomes for this to reach through 5. 4, and then obviously the right tail is always longer, because you could have 8 runs, you could have 10 runs, you could have 12 runs, whereas the least likely is always 0. And so people don't always take into stock the difference between mean and median. And so for me, I think the 3.5 at plus money is actually pretty doable.
The reason I'm staying off, because I agree, Lindy. I said under a pass last night. The reason I'm not gonna the Reds are going to be in trouble if Nick Martinez gets into any sort of situation, because they're very thin. They do have Pagan and Santillan.
They're dead already, so it doesn't matter. Like, I need Nick Martinez to pitch 5 clean. Like,
right. If Nick Martinez can't make it 5 innings for whatever reason, Astros may scored 8 runs in the game. So it's they're very thin in the bullpen. They have Pagan and Santillan, which is their main 2 arms, but you're only going to see them if they're winning. So if the Reds are not winning this game, I mean, they're very thin.
I hate Pagan. Why is he good now? I was
going to say, why do you hate him?
I'm a Twins fan.
All right.
Toast, you passed on this one?
Yeah, it would be Houston -1.5. I did not bet this, but I expect Hunter Brown to bounce back after an embarrassing performance against the White Sox. Not to mention the fact that this doesn't mean anything in the handicap, but it just tweaks my interest. Cincinnati's beat Houston 6 straight times going back the last couple of years, so I don't know.
Someone was talking about that.
Yeah.
The Reds own the Astros or something.
Yeah, so just little things like that. Again, I didn't bet it. It would only be Hunter Brown, and obviously we talked about those bullpens.
Also, just to throw this out there, there's people in the chat saying that a lot of people, like Circa, they're throwing a ton of money down. Well, yeah, because plus 166, that's completely different than saying, like, oh, I think the first 5 under is going to, like, they're just 2 completely different bets with 2 completely different angles. So, like, they're non sequiturs, in my opinion.
Giants on the road in Minnesota. Yeah, I got the Giants at plus 105. Like this bet, Toast.
Dude, we got really good CLV on
we got good. We did well
good
here. It's So what was the angle we liked for Hicks, Toast? He's pitching against a bunch of righties, is it?
Ground ball rate.
There was something we liked. Okay. So I think it was his main pitch. Okay, it was a sinker. His main pitch is a sinker. He throws it over 54% of the time. The Twins lineup is heating up. Not going to take that away from him, but they're the 2nd worst lineup in baseball against sinkers this year. They've struggled. He's also decent righty-lefty splits for Jordan Hicks. On top of that, the Twins bullpen completely cooked here.
There's your answer.
So the Twins bullpen is cooked. There's also... All right, so there's actually a few angles here. Let me start from the beginning.
I was going to say, we might as well just go through.
Number 1, there's a few angles I like for the Giants here. And me and Toast got this plus 105 last night. I honestly think they win, so the value might be gone at minus 110, but I still think they win. So Jordan Hicks has not been good this year, but actually scratch that. The worst lineup in baseball against the sinker this year, the Minnesota Twins, dead last. He throws it over 54% of the time. That's angle number 1. Angle number 2, what does Jordan Hicks struggle with? Lefty bats. Twins lineup, 1, 2, 3, 4 lefties, and really only 2 that scare you. Larnick and Brooks Lee are the only 2 that I would consider any sort of like.
You don't have any love for Cody Clemens?
No, I don't have any love for Cody Clemens. So there's not a lot of dangerous lefties in the Twins lineup. That's number 2. Number 3, the Twins bullpen is in all kind of situations here. Let me scroll up to the Minnesota Twins bullpen. You're not going to see Duran. You're not going to see Griffin Jacks. Cole Sands you might not even see. So the Twins bullpen is limited as well. Like the angle for the Giants across the board. Like this bet plus 105. Right, Toast?
Love it. Even the guys in the Minnesota pen that are available, like Varland and going down, they're all 2 of the last 3 days and stuff. It's just a really compromised spot for Minnesota in the later half of this game, especially when you consider that the Giants bullpen has been essentially top 5 all year so far as a collective unit. So again, Sauce touched on it. Hicks, I get this. I guess, is Minnesota heating up, Lindy? Like, do you trust what we've seen from them the last few days, or is that just a really bad Baltimore team that they played against? Because I went into the Baltimore series thinking that they weren't really playing as good as what we thought, because they got really lucky against those 2 games in Boston where the bullpen blow-ups in the 8th and the 9th inning. Then they go in at home and they beat Baltimore. Like, is Minnesota even really that good right now? Those are the questions that I asked myself. Again, I know they've won 5 or 6 games in a row, whatever it is, but against a really bad Baltimore team that's not beating anybody, and 2 bullpen blow-ups in the 8th and the 9th inning for Boston. So for me, I was getting a better Giants team with a rested bullpen. Call the starters or wash at plus money. It was pretty easy for me.
Yeah, no, I would definitely be on San Francisco if I played anything here, but I have a home run play. It's probably my favorite home run play at the price that we've had in a very, very long time. Wilmer Flores is batting 5th today, and the wind is blowing out to right. Obviously, he's a right-handed hitter, but it is what it is. Like, I don't understand this number. So Wilmer Flores has hit the ball like absolute shit this year. I'm not gonna go out of my way to say that, but his launch angle sweet spot has still been really good. In fact, it's the best his launch angle sweet spot has been since his entire career, 38.5%. Now, what does this mean? It means that when he does hit the ball hard, it is going in that 25 to like 35 type window. I think it's like 26 to 34, I think is the identical number that they put it together. But like, this is an unbelievably good spot. 1, the lineup order. 2, the game conditions. Everybody else in this lineup, the home run odds are just completely jacked. So I don't know why Wilmer Flores, who has the 15.9 degree launch angle, is getting just so downgraded as what he is. But you go up against Chris Paddock here, and Chris Paddock is just a problem. 16.6% K rate, 11% walk rate. Obviously, we do not want him to walk guys when you're betting them to hit home runs, but right now, the launch angle off the bat, career high for him, 15.7 degree launch angle on average for Paddock. So a guy who's lofting the ball, and when he does loft it, he's generally making harder contact than is showing up in the hard hit percentage, launch angle sweet spot percentage. You're looking at a great opportunity in 80+ degree weather and humidity in Minnesota with the wind blowing out to right field for a guy who doesn't necessarily always pull the baseball either. So I'm loving plus 700 or plus 725. I think I saw a second ago, but no, plus 700. I was correct. This is like $2 off. Like plus 500 is closer to where I'd be putting Wilmer Flores. It's an absolute play.
Can I give you something that you're going to roll your eyes at?
Yeah.
Wilmer Flores, 12 for 6 versus his career in Chris Paddock with a double and 2 homers.
I don't care.
I know. That's why I said it.
I love that you threw that in, though, because somebody's looking that up and being like, Eric's a genius. When I know. I had no idea.
I know. That's why I said it. That's why I said you're going to roll your eyes. But
that's all right. I love it.
All right, let's
move on. Doesn't surprise me. It's like square peg, square hole. It should fit. You know what I mean?
Square peg, square hole. You heard it.
You heard it here first.
You heard it. Square peg, square hole. Now we go to Toast. For those of you that are new to the channel, Toast is a Padres fan who is terrified of the Rockies.
What?
He's scared of the Rockies. He says the Rockies always beat him. We can't beat the Rockies. I don't know. It's an irrational fear. I'm assuming it's probably
we're like 500 against them.
I'll bet Jackson Merrill home runs and not give a fuck.
I already did it.
I think
I got hits, runs, and RBIs. But
I bet you there's psychology text somewhere that explains the correlation between Toast's fear of the Rockies and his longtime fanhood of the Padres, and I bet you it's deeply rooted.
No, it's easy math. Padres are always huge, heavy favorites. They're maybe 500 against the Rockies the last 3 years. It's just a losing endeavor.
So are the Rockies free here then?
Could be.
Vasquez is put. Lindy, what are your thoughts on Vasquez?
Absurd, but
I agree. There's not a chance in hell I would win with the Padres.
These 2 pitchers are so bad. This game is an 11.5 total now. And
it was 10.5 last night, just to give you guys some context.
Yeah, it should probably be 12.5 already. Like,
I played a whole bunch of player props. I didn't play it side. Okay. I tailed Lindy on one. I had one of my own. I already had Jackson Merrill. So go ahead, Lindy. Tell them about Mickey.
Jackson Merrill's good at baseball. 832 expected
Really?
slugging, completely smashes the face off of the baseball. And Antonio Senzatella has no place being in Major League Baseball. I'm pretty sure he has a sex tape of Manfred. Otherwise, there's just no reason that he is pitching in the big leagues. This guy, over the course of his last 3 seasons, 10.68 expected ERA, 9.08 expected ERA. This year, 7.01 expected ERA. Oh, I guess we're getting better.
He beat the Dodgers twice in Dodger Stadium, bro.
What are we doing?
Lay off the teller. Lay off the teller, bro. He's a gamesmanship.
Anything can happen in one game sample sizes in baseball, which is why you don't want to go crazy. It's price and probability at the end of the day. But the probability of this dude getting his balls whacked are pretty high. So Antonio Senzatella, hopefully he's into some of that kinky shit because, yeah, his balls are getting whacked out of the yard today. Jackson Merrill. Let's go, team.
All right, so your pick would be Merrill home run?
Yeah.
All right.
Plus 420. It's the bet. It's the bet that's in, so it's official.
Toast, did you take anything in this one? I don't think
I didn't. I missed the 10.5 last night. I wasn't going to chase, and I don't think that the Padres should be this big of a favorite with Randy on the mound. I love Randy, and I will defend him until I can't any longer.
Wait, what?
He loves Randy Vasquez.
I forgot you like Randy Vasquez because you're mentally impaired. I forgot.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh my Lord, Toast! Why?
All right, Lindy, let's move on to this one. And
I just see a whole bunch of game logs of him putting his team in a position to win the game. That's all I see.
It's because he's saying he only lets up 1 run, but he lets up 11 base runners in 4 2/3.
Yeah.
It's not a good start.
Oh my God.
Hey, as long as there's a W, I'm good.
All right. Orioles on the road in LA. And Lindy, I gave some like hot take shit on the Midnight Show last night. I said, if the Orioles do not hit Kyle Hendricks today, you hit the panic button. It's like something's wrong and you need to take action now. You agree?
Custer's last stand. We're betting Baltimore today. What's the price now? I bet Baltimore already.
-1.5.
I'm happy to lay it. This is an absurd line.
I agree.
This is actually
no, seriously. I'm not even talking shit. Would you play money line or team total over? Money line minus 150 or team
money line. You could play -1.5 and I'd probably be around for it.
I just didn't know if you're in that or the team total. I wasn't trying to.
So Sagano, I've said this for a while. I don't think Sagano's good. I really don't. But he's going to be an innings eater for this baseball team. He is also one of those guys. He's 35 years old, coming over from Japan. That's really hard to like get an identifier on it. But he is just starting to figure out how to pitch a little bit at the big league level. He's starting to like figure out, hey, maybe I need to throw the splitter a little bit more. It's now, I mean, he has just like this junk assortment of pitches, but like these kind of guys, they figure out how to just eat up innings for their team at a certain point. And he went 7 against the Guardians. He went 7 against the Washington Nationals. He went 5 against the Yankees. He went 6 against Kansas City. I mean, we're talking a guy who in his last 4 starts has not gone fewer than 5. The one time he did go 5, he gave up 0 earned in it, and they turned it over to the bullpen earlier. I mean, this is still just insane to me. I have this at -165. This would technically be a lock, but I know a lot of people don't like it when I lock like, oh, -142 favorite or like whatever. It's like, shut the fuck up. I'm just trying to win you money. Like that's the goal. And Kyle Hendricks deserves pain. Like this, he can't keep getting away with it, Breaking Bad style. Like I can't do it I can't do it anymore. He needs to die. And Stagano gets to face all righties. I mean, Los Angeles Angels are basically a mirror copy of Kansas City, just the shitty version, where they also have no lefties up top. And Sagano's been better against lefties so far this season. So there is that. He's had a higher whip, but we have like a 35-year-old pitcher who's just out there to eat innings. Baltimore gets to go to a park that plays up for lefty power, despite the fact that the Angels just decided not to have any lefties in that lineup. Genius idea. Play to your ballpark teams. Baltimore can play to their ballpark better than they can Baltimore all day.
Yeah, I agree. I might even bet this with you. You got Kyle Hendricks coming off the game of his life, his best start in like 3 years. Perfect time for him to get hit up. And Baltimore against a righty where they've been better. With a bunch of lefty bats in the lineup. Kyle Hendricks, a 586 expected FIP against lefties. I mean, the table's set. If the Orioles do not hit Kyle Hendricks here, I think you fire the manager. You have to do, like, this is like panic button. And now I know someone in the comments, Warshaw said, Kyle, I'm a nose fan. I hit the panic button a long time ago.
Yeah. I mean, let's be fair though. I mean, there's been a lot of injuries. I mean, let's just go down the line of what they're playing.
They don't have any pitching. Who cares?
Yeah, I know, but I mean, Eflin, Rodriguez, both. I think they're two best arms. They've been out forever. They've had 3 starts combined amongst them. You have O'Neill, IL, Urias, IL, Westberg, IL, Kittredge, IL, Suarez, Sanchez, IL. Like, we're just talking a terrible run of hell to start off a season. Westberg was hitting the ball like a god the first 2 weeks before getting, hitting eject on. And that was against righties too. He wasn't just a platoon guy. So I don't know. It's been unlucky for Baltimore. That luck, we get it back today.
What do you think, Toast?
I don't really want to deal with Sagano personally. I don't have a problem with him at all. This Baltimore team just keeps on burning me. They did skip my first 5 team total the other day, so I'll give them that. It would be Baltimore first 5 team total over 2.5 minus 125 or nothing for me. I actually might. Huh?
I'm not typing that.
Oh, that's fine. But yeah, you can put up Baltimore for me. But it would be again, I can't really add anything what these guys have said. They pretty much covered everything. But this Baltimore offense versus right-handed pitching still can score some runs. So I was actually thinking like first 5 over 5.5 because I know the Angels have been somewhat decent at home scoring runs at least early, but I don't know. I just don't really have a good feel for it.
Let's move on to the next one. All right.
Did you bet Baltimore? I'll do it if you do it.
I kind of want to.
I already did it. Minus 142. Closing line CLV King over here.
Toronto, Seattle. The real Louis Castillo's on the mound, not the departed.
I'm really curious. I want to hear Lindy's comments.
Luis, I love that they put Luis P though. That makes spreadsheets so much easier for me.
Yeah,
because Luis P, thank God they changed that. That was like a year ago that they did that, and it was a saving grace.
Well, you know what was called? I had to put the initials in for the Muncies too, for Max Muncy.
But yeah, it helps to suck and get demoted.
Yeah, then now it's not a problem, but I had to do that. Also, the Astros guy Ortiz comes up as Louis H. Ortiz or something. I had to do. That's another one. Oh, I could talk spreadsheets all day, but
that's sauce. Turn me on, baby, right now.
Toronto on the road at Seattle.
Hang on. This hand. It's this hand. There we go.
I said under 7.5 last night. It's down to 7. Probably should have taken it. That's being said, Toast kind of pointed it out. We all perceive Seattle to be a ballpark that's tough to score runs, and I like both starters. I like Gausman on the road. I think Seattle's bats are going to cool off. So it's only under, but Toast is right. I mean, Seattle home games have been going over this year, so it hasn't really been the under park we remember from last year. So under a pass. I'm not betting it. Lynn, do you have anything here?
I looked at Seattle money line, and then I kept living my life. You get low variance baseball, the lowest run creation ballpark period, and Seattle's been an amazing offense, but Toronto, they don't strike out, and Luis Castillo isn't getting strikeouts. He's been getting by on the ballpark for the last 2 years, and I don't know what to do here. I think Gausman also has been pretty decent in terms of I didn't expect him to have a 3.70 expected ERA in his first 600 plus pitches, coming off of 4.71 last season. So the more I work through it, the more I'm just maybe Gausman's back, and I just don't feel like throwing money away. So I'm going to let Gausman continue to show it to us. I don't trust it enough because, again, Seattle's just offense has been ridiculous, but they've been ridiculous on the road. And that's where I'm just kind of having a tough time for low variance baseball. Toronto's bullpen freaks me the fuck out. What am I supposed to do? What are you doing, Toast? You seem like
I actually forgot. Toast said he was kind of leaning towards Toronto. I forgot he said that.
Yeah, you kind of got me all excited, Lindy.
Did you bet it?
I haven't yet because the line keeps on moving up. That's why I haven't bet
it.
Yeah,
you can wait on it. I keep going back and forth on this one. I put Seattle money line last night, but it was a lean. I did not bet it.
So wait, Mark Ewing is in the comments saying Seattle is the gift horse today. You never punch a gift horse, Toast.
Well, you guys know I don't like horses, so I'm going to punch him right in the face.
Why don't you like horses?
I like horse in the face. You horse hater?
The gift horse, yes.
Toast doesn't like the gift horse phrase.
Well, you definitely won't like this then. No.
Whoa.
Good Lord.
I can't.
Toast.
Don't mind me.
So you're fading the gift horse here.
fading the gift horse. I haven't bet it yet, but the line does keep on moving up. If I end up getting plus 130 with Toronto, I probably make this bet. I just think that the starting pitch, okay. Like Lindy said, I think this starting pitching is in a little bit of a wash. I actually kind of give Gausman the nod there. Again, I think everybody knows that I'm not a Luis Castillo guy, but Lindy said it. He's not striking guys out. He's walking guys, and this Toronto offense really isn't striking out a ton. I get they really haven't done much all year. I get that. But you also have Seattle coming off. I don't really like the spot for Seattle. They played a home series our home series against the Angels, then they went on the road against Texas and Oakland. That's 3 straight divisional series, and now they get Toronto. I just don't know if I can really count on Seattle to continue getting up, especially coming in. I know that they had the day off yesterday, but I don't know. My gut just tells me this is a type of a Toronto spot. Again, I could be way off here. We'll see. But if, like I said, 130 or better, I bet Toronto.
I mean, if you're going to do it that way, wouldn't you rather just go first 5 with Gausman and just eat it? Because like Toronto's bullpen is so bad. I don't like anything in their pen.
Too, yeah.
I mean, Jeff Hoffman is brutal. Yimi Garcia is brutal. We're talking how many blown saves between the two of them this year already? It's many, many blown saves is the answer.
Mariners bullpen's completely rested too.
Yeah. I think let me urge you. You haven't bet it yet, so I'm just going to talk you into it. If you're going to do anything first 5, I can't imagine betting Toronto on the money line.
Dodgers at plus 100 is tempting, but I bet this game got some CLV too. I don't know if Toast bet it. Oh, no.
I have 2 bets.
Yeah. Okay. So we're in the same idea. I'll put mine up first. I got over 9.5 last night. It's at 10 now. So got some CLV here. Toast is about to talk about why he thinks Arizona is going to get to Sasaki. So I won't say any of that because obviously I agree. I'm on the over. The Dodgers against lefties, I mean, they're the best lineup in baseball against lefties in the last 30 days. Best lineup in baseball against lefties in the last 14 days. The last couple of lefties they've seen, they've absolutely tattooed. I'm not a big Eduardo Rodriguez guy. So, yeah, I'm on over 9.5 here. Toast, you're on Arizona team total over, right?
Yeah. Let me see if I can get what the number is on that.
I just have over 4.5 minus 104. I just put whatever you got up.
I know it's way gone now. It's minus 140 now, but
holy shit.
That's what happens when you're the real CLV king around these parts. But regardless, you have Roki Sasaki, who I don't really think that he's that bad. I don't think he's that bad, but at the same time, I also can go to bat to say that this is probably easily by far the toughest test that he's going to face so far in his major league career. On the road at the Cubs, that was the first series of the year, whatever. Detroit, Philadelphia, Chicago, Texas, Pittsburgh, Atlanta. I mean, I guess you can make a case for the Cubs, but I mean, everybody else, I guess Detroit's been somewhat decent too. But my point being is that I think this is a huge, huge step up in competition for Roki Sasaki facing this Diamondbacks team that's second, maybe third in Major League Baseball hitting right-handed pitching. And I know that if you're using the spreadsheets, you're going to say, well, look, Toast, they haven't really hit any righty starters lately. What about that? Well, that's what happens when you face Kodai Senga, Griffin Canning, Aaron Nola, Kodai Senga again, Schwelly. They got to Grant Holmes. So essentially, they just really couldn't hit against the Mets and Aaron Nola. And besides that, they were fine. On top of the fact that you have Roki Sasaki, and what does he really, really struggle with? Lefty bats. Carroll, Marte, Smith, Naylor, Alex Thomas, Perdomo, all going to be hitting from the left-hand side. Not to mention the fact that, like I've said before, I'm not a believer in this Dodgers bullpen. This isn't the Padres hating me. I'm going to continue to tell you guys this all year long. Tanner Scott's not a closer. Okay, he's not a closer. He's not built for that. So if you keep on asking him to close games, there's going to be an issue there. Kirby Yates, he's all right. Vesia is all right. But my point is that I just don't really think that this Dodgers bullpen is as good as everybody makes it out to be. I know that their numbers so far this year have been pretty damn good, especially like the XFIP and stuff like that. But we'll see what happens later on in the year. But my point is I don't think that Arizona's worried about anybody that's coming out of that Dodgers bullpen today. So over 9.5 and Arizona team total over 4.5.
I see a Corbin Carroll home run graphic here. I suppose that belongs to Lindy.
Yeah, I haven't bet it yet. It's a little bit thinner than what I was hoping for because this isn't like the best ballpark for lefty power, despite the fact that Corbin Carroll is God and God is Corbin Carroll. I want to pull the trigger on it. As you said, Roki Sasaki just struggling with lefty bats. You get the open air stadium yet again in the the Southwest, and it is hot. It is like 90 at first pitch. My parents were at the game yesterday and it was just blazing hot. And they're like, hey, you want to come? No, I really don't want to go to a game.
My
this
cousin
weekend.
was there too, and he was like, I wonder if we can text the number to close the roof.
Yeah, it was hot as fuck.
Yeah.
They were just super hot yesterday, and so I was like, all right, well, no big deal. Tomorrow they're gonna have it closed, by the way, so it might be a quick launch on the under. For what it's worth, they always announce these things like ahead of time. You can go to just Chase and just Google machine it. It shows you like the next 3 for what they're going to do in the series. But yeah, open roof. It was hot. It's going to be hot again today, but you still got to make contact. You still have to do all the other things correctly. And what I'm worried about are the walks for Corbin Carroll, because I think they're more than happy with him at the top of this lineup to just utilize. I mean, he's such a ridiculous baseball player because he has the speed element. He's always had the speed element. Now his bat speed's up. 15.3 degree launch angle is the highest of his career. 56.6% hard hit is by far the highest of his career. He's striking out at a higher clip, but I do think this is just one of those spots where you probably just stay away. I'd be more inclined to like maybe bet a walk of his or something, maybe an attachment to a stolen base. So probably going to be staying away when it's all said and done. But Corbin home run was the thing popping, plus 430 at FanDuel. Way better number than just about any other book. And Penny is sitting like plus 365. So sharper book. So you could just, from a market-based perspective, look at it that way, but I'm going to pass.
Corbin Carroll's also one of those guys that we've seen struggle and then fix his swing and stuff. So it's like it's hard for me to think that he's going to struggle striking out for too long.
Right.
Next up, Yankees.
Dodgers have a lot of lefties they can bring in too. So
Yankees Athletics is the last game on the board, and I really want to take the A's here. I don't like Will Warren in this ballpark. I think the A's are capable of scoring. But obviously, we know the Yankees are definitely capable of lighting Beto up. I honestly think the A's are going to win, but I don't have it in me to actually bet it.
I'm actually curious. I ended up having to change a diaper and stuff, but Lily went on a little soliloquy this morning on Will Warren. Do you want to elaborate on that for us?
Oh, let's hear it.
Interesting.
Did you not?
I did.
I certainly did.
I went on a Will Warren soliloquy. No.
Were you not on your show earlier with the other guy? I could have sworn I heard you talking about him and his K stuff going up, and he could possibly be a good strikeout guy. Was I just dreaming that?
Apparently, you have fucked up dreams, kid.
Are you mixing Lindy up with somebody? Were you talking about Will Warren this morning?
Right now. I'm about to go find it right now.
Wow. Or is Lindy backing off a take?
Will Warren strikeout happy, 26% K rate. Yeah, I like Will Warren. I think no, I did talk about a little bit of Will Warren today, but not
with your friend OS Tails, top capper
with my guy. Yeah, no, yeah. I definitely covered it with Aton to some extent, but no, I didn't go like on some crazy.
I didn't mean it as a rant. I just was saying that I knew that you spent a couple seconds on him. That's all.
Yeah. I thought his stuff looked really good against Tampa Bay, and that kind of got me to look a little bit deeper into him. Overall, he's the kind of guy that you're going to find some massive strikeout upside. It was more of me just eviscerating Osvaldo Beto and the fact that we need to find any single way we possibly can to back the Yankees. I think there's lots of ways to do it. I ended up betting Paul Goldschmidt home run. He hasn't been hitting the ball as hard, but he continues to make contact. 12.3 degree launch angle. He's been batting cleanup. I assume he'll continue to bat cleanup. We don't have that. We don't have that lineup. And against lefties, they moved him to the top of the order. It's basically Trent Grisham gets buried to the 9 hole, or maybe out of the lineup at a lot of those spots, and it'll be Jason Dominguez. But overall, Osvaldo Beto is just absolutely terrible. And I do think Will Warren, one of those guys who we're going to see some massive strikeout upside from him going forward. He's got that kind of a mix. I do like the change and sweeper. And that was kind of what I talked about primarily, was like, I think both of those pitches are starting to come along for the ride. You look year over year, last year, such a small sample size, but even going back through some of his minor league data, if the sweeper can get figured out, he's going to be good, because the change up to lefty bats, it's going to start getting more whiffs than 23.4%. And this is definitely against an Athletics team that you could definitely target. That's pretty much it there. Goldschmidt home run, though. Anything better than plus 440 would be on the card. And I already bet it. I think it was plus 475.
I'm pretty sure Toast doesn't like this game. He said over a pass. Didn't sound interested last night.
Yeah, I don't really have a good feel for either thing. So, and I don't trust the Yankees bats to put up an over here. So it would be over a pass, but there's no chance I bet it.
I think there's a good chance that I might, if I'm having a great night and people in the Discord want to bet it later, I might be down to hop on the A's money line to do some gambling.
I'm known to do that from time to time. I'm like, I'm 4-0. Dice are hot.
Especially,
yeah.
especially the late games when it's like 9:40 and it's like, I don't want this night to end. Anyone want to place another bet?
Yeah. I'm not
This night to end.
Yeah, I get to avoid my family and stay inside on a Discord server.
Yeah.
That's
I was
so
going to
much
say, I
better.
love the Discord when it's like I wake up at like 2 o'clock in
Yeah.
the morning my time and people are like arguing about KBO and stuff like that. I'm like,
That's fantastic.
Guys, get
though.
some
Like,
sleep.
Those are my
Um,
people. Those are my people.
Lindy, where can these fine folks find your stuff?
Yeah, head over to oddshopper.com. You can head over and find out all the goodness, not only the Oddshopper YouTube channel, but oddshopper.com itself, one of the best odds pages you guys can check out. All the good things, but overall, just thank you so much for having me on per usual. I look forward to being able to hang out with you guys, talk a little ball, find a couple bets, and hey, now we've got a couple of community plays amongst ourselves as well. They continue to do great stuff over here. So Sauce Toast, always fun to kick it.
Thank you. Toast, I'm just going to do NBA at midnight tonight. So tomorrow morning with Legeza, we'll just go through the whole slate. So don't worry about tonight. I'm just going to do an NBA thing by myself.